have to see this.
Hey, what's up guys? Mark. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Hope you guys like that new intro. Something I've been working on. Figured I'll get it out for this video and all videos going forward. Anyhow, I also got another new thing today. This is a tournament recap, new to the channel. Over about 2 weeks ago, I fished my second tournament ever, and that was up at Lake Octoraro. Got some footage for us to look at. That event was hosted by Delaware Paddle Sports. That's the place I bought my kayak at last summer. Absolutely had a blast on this kayak since I bought it. Actually 1 year, a couple days ago. Anyhow, the event was on the Kayak Bass Fishing Series, and it was stop number 5 on that Delaware Paddle Sports trail. It was hosted at Lake Octoraro, which was about 55 minutes each way from my house, and that was up in Kirkwood, Pennsylvania. How I heard about it was through my buddy Chris. We made plans to fish 2 times the 4th of July weekend. We went out on Friday, and he mentioned it to me on the water, and we didn't really have a solid plan going into Saturday, the very next day, as our fishing place. So we both agreed, hey, let's go up there and check it out. So I did scout it on that day, that Saturday leading into the tournament, and then I went on vacation. My first impressions on kind of that scouting day was it rained a whole lot that night, so the water was really muddy. There was a whole lot of green stuff on top of the water. I found out that was vegetation. It's like a flower that floats around. It's called duckweed. And if you've never fished anything like it, it's a little bit different. I've fished some grassy waters, but this one has like its own flower that kind of floats around almost like a lily pad, but it's a little bit rougher. Could definitely mess up some fluorocarbon for sure. And then there's like a cottage cheese, like it's like little grains of rice kind of floating around. And from what I read about it, from leading up to the event, I did some research on it. It actually kind of thrives in still water, so that's a good little clue about Lake Octoraro. Is there's not really a lot of current there. Even though they have a spillway and stuff, there must not be a lot going on in order for that to thrive. I could see how the long creek arm design of that place could have some consistent current flow issues on most of it. So anyhow, let's get into the fishing video, the pre-fishing days, and we'll take a look from there. All right, so pre-fishing, in a nutshell, I kind of made a strategy to kind of toss at the bank. My plan there was basically throw a real small little beaver bait. It's actually the Reaction Innovations smaller beaver. Got a lot of bites on that throughout the day. The footage, I only got 2 catches there. I did bring 3 fish on board. The first one you saw in the video was 11 1/4. I measured that one. I had that other one that I just brought on, I just threw off. He was about 10 inches. He definitely was smaller than that first fish that you guys saw. And then actually I caught a third fish at one of the spots that's key on tournament day, and that fish was 11 1/2. So overall, you know, I really just didn't even find keeper fish, but I had a ton of little nips. In that one video you were seeing, I was throwing like a spinner bait. It was getting tipped at different things, and you know, my experience is that most of the time anything that bites a spinner bait is normally at least a scoreable bass. So I was really surprised, like kind of follow up with the Senko there and you know, just catch like a little guy like that. But you know, there definitely was some good areas that I found. It was very different than the first time I went out. It rained, it was really muddy, and it was definitely a lot clearer. I found out like in the deeper waters, like the fish were about 10 to 20 feet, so that was kind of one of my findings there. I kind of made it a plan to kind of fish that area on tournament day. And then also another thing that I kind of found was at the end of like longer laydowns, there was a lot of little fish sunning. I threw some stuff that some bigger things out there in those particular areas, but just nothing connected on the tournament day. From some of the dock talk and some of the people that I met also fishing the event, the overall vibe was that you know, it was really slow. There wasn't a lot of wind, and it's been hot water, so I kind of knew it was going to be a tournament that was going to be like a grinder. And as a new angler coming in, I think that kind of sets up towards at least one of my advantages is I fished the Senko for majority of any kind of bass fishing I've done since I got started. So you know, that's definitely one thing that I feel really comfortable at. So anyhow, let's get into the tournament day, and we'll go from there. I gotta go. Bro. Oh, dude. I thought I had a mega, bro. Oh, that's what we got. Big mega catfish. I knew it was fighting for me, man. I was like, damn. Caught a big catfish. Thought I had biggest bass today. It's probably about 5 pounds. Really? Yeah. Dragging a shaky head. How about you?
I caught 6 fish, but only 1 measured.
Sounds about right. I caught 3 yesterday that were like right around like 11 inches. It's been a lot slower today. There's like no wind today, you know.
Yeah, man.
Could definitely use some wind, I think.
We didn't measure yesterday, and 2 that didn't. They were around 11, 11 and a half.
Kind of picked up around noon yesterday. I think when the sun was up.
That's when you started catching on me.
Yeah. Working the shade.
Oh, mine, first thing in the morning. There you go.
I'm not sure if he's hung up in something. Oh yeah, he's a nice one. Nice one. He's not hooked that good though. I'm gonna have to finesse him a little bit. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Dude, that was so sloppy, that network. Yeah, he's probably 20. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know what happened here. Good Lord, he's a football. I'm all messed up here, man. Probably bird's nest this down. Goodness. I really am messed up here. Don't lose this. Oh, dude, that's a mega. Nah, I'm gonna get situated, get them in the water. I'm all messed up over here, dude. All right, guys. So yeah, the tournament went pretty well, I would say, all things considered. It definitely set up as I kind of anticipated going into the event. I knew it was going to be a slower, tougher kind of tournament, and I made a commitment to myself that, hey, on tournament day I was going to upsize a lot of my lures, and then just see if I could get, you know, the 5 good bites, you know, that could possibly, you know, place in maybe a top 3 or something. I did catch one, and that was good for 7th place, and that was the big bass of the tournament. That fish measured 19 1/4, and you know, I wish I would have waited, but I would estimate it was definitely in the high 4s. I'm not sure if it was 5, but I caught a fish back in June. That video is up on the channel, and that's what that fish was. And I think this one was a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, but you know, I was really worried about stressing the fish out. One of the things that really got me there was that net debacle. So I'm still trying to figure out the layout on my boat. You know, I did make some changes since then to kind of fix some of those issues. I must have hung my net at least 15 times this year on that those little tabs that stick out of that trolling motor plug. So I'm gonna do like a rod sock or something on that to kind of fix that. I've been taking a lot of fishing rods. I still kind of get in trouble sometimes and need the paddle, so I like that paddle on the side. But the one thing that really hurt me there was pulling up that that net on that landing of that larger fish. I hit the rod on the inside of that, and that kind of just really just got me a little bit tangled up there. I had a little bit of line off of that rod into the net. I was a little short on going for that fish initially, so I put it down, and when I grabbed it, it grabbed the other rod that was on the other side of that rod holder, and it was in the net, and it was kind of locking the net all the way up on the front. So if you guys have seen the layout of my kayak, I got a fish finder on the center console on that removable pod, and I was like basically reaching over as far as I could to unhook that fish, and it was tough. Felt like I was like putting the fish finder like into my abs. So you know, it was a little nerve-wracking, and I left that footage in there because that bass like jumped out, and you know, I definitely had one of those heart attack moments. Another good moment in that event was, you know, earlier in that day, I caught that catfish. So I threw an upsized version of the smallie beaver. I actually threw the kinky beaver, and I tell you what, I think that's a good sleeper bait. I threw it on a 1/4 ounce shaky head. It was EWG, and the thing about that is it's got like these two long strings that kind of flap. But other than that, I mean, it is like a subtle bait going down. I mean, it just, when you throw it out there, it just sinks like a rocket. And then when it's down there, I think it twitches, and it just does enough to get the bites. And I was anticipating big bites on that. So as soon as I casted that one time, I popped it like 2 times, and then something ran off with it. And I guess it was just catfish. I must have hit him right on the head or something, and he just slurped it in. And then I set that hook, and at first it did feel like a bass, and then as it got closer to the boat, it kind of either felt like I foul hooked the bass, or it was a catfish. And I've caught a couple catfish on the river, but I guess in the moment, you know, I was really hoping that was the big bass. So technically I thought I won big bass before I actually did win big bass. But all in all, you know, I definitely have to thank Delaware Paddle Sports for putting out that event. As a new guy looking in at kayak angling and competing in tournaments, you know, it can be a little intimidating going out to some of these events, especially when you don't know anyone. But you know, it's one of those things that I do to kind of meet new people and do what I definitely have grown into love and become a passion of mine. And I can tell you that everybody I met on Prefishing days was super welcoming. Got a lot of friends out of that. You know, we had a blast. We were joking, all that. And you know, the tournament directors were great too. You know, everybody was just really welcoming to me coming in, and you know, I think that really kind of helped ease my mind. Comparing back to my first tournament on the Upper Bay, you know, I had a really great pre-fishing there, but it was 2 weeks prior to the event, and a lot changed, and that tournament didn't really work out. So it was nice to actually pre-fish this go around, like the day before the event, and I pre-fished 2 weeks before Octoraro as well, scouting it out, and had a tough day. So it gave me some chances to kind of reflect on, you know, how to scout and plan it out, and glad everything worked out. Well, anyhow, a longer than normal video. Appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end. If you enjoy this content, you like the tournament recaps and all that, comment below, let me know. I'll continue to do these as you know, as other tournaments come up. We got some other things planned tournament wise this year. And give me a like and subscribe, especially if you guys are fishing in this Maryland, Pennsylvania area. That should be a no-brainer. Give me a subscribe, give me a like, and yeah, I'll see you guys out on the water, and I'll keep the footage coming. All right, see ya.